Are you trying to start a business with no money, but you want help accessing the funds you need to start and grow? Well, I'm about to reveal to you 10 different ways you can get financing to start and grow your new business. I'm going to show you how to get startup funding even if you have credit issues now. I'm going to show you how to get money for a startup even if you don't have collateral, even if you don't yet have any cash flow. I'm going to show you free money that you can get to get your startup off the ground, money from the government that doesn't even have to be paid back. We're even going to talk about where to go to get the actual financing. I'm going to show you how to get startup financing even in a high-risk industry, even if you've been turned down before, even if you think there's no way you can qualify to get money. And along the way, I'm going to sprinkle in my best tips and tactics for you to get the most money at the best terms. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to get you access to our funding vault with 27 killer ways to get money to grow your business. And we've got a ton to cover here, so let's dive in. The easiest way to get money to get a new business off the ground is to understand the 3 C's cash acquisition formula. Look, this is the formula that all lenders use to determine if you should be approved for financing or not. It's really simple to know what kind of funding you can get. So the 3 C's are cash flow, credit, and collateral. And if you have one of those as a strength, then you can qualify for financing. Obviously, as a new business, you don't yet have cash flow. So the other 2 options, credit and collateral, we're going to dive into in this training. I'm even going to show you limited or no cash flow options that work for you. We're going to talk about free money as well. And I'm going to show you a universal option that works even if you have none of the 3 C's. So let's dive in first and talk about financing you can get that's only based on credit. Credit line hybrid is one of the best ways you can get money as a new business. And the best part is you don't even have to have good credit to get it. And I'm going to tell you more about that in just a minute. So with credit line hybrid, you can get up to $150,000 in credit lines. So this program is designed for startups. So there's no income, no cash flow verification. It's no doc financing. You don't need to have any kind of collateral either. It's unsecured financing. And again, you can get up to $150,000 in credit lines with 0% rates for 6 to 18 months. Plus, a lot of these credit lines report to the business credit reporting agencies, so you could build business credit while getting the money you need to get your startup business off the ground. Now, the only thing that's needed to qualify is good personal credit, about a 680 FICO score or higher. How much money you get depends on how high your credit limits are now, on your existing credit or consumer credit report, as well as other factors, for example, your utilization and inquiries as well. But what if you don't have good personal credit? Well, you can also use a guarantor with this program. As a matter of fact, half of the clients that we have funded in this program don't even have good personal credit. What they're doing is relying on a family member, a friend, a potential investor, somebody else using their credit as a guarantor, getting up $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 in credit lines. And again, the credit lines report on the business credit report. So you're building your business credit. The credit lines don't show on the guarantor's consumer credit report. And it's just a really nice way to tap into somebody's credit instead of relying on them to get cash to fund your business. Look, 75% of business owners get a business off the ground using money from family and friends. Instead of going to a family member or friend and hitting them up for cash, this is a great alternative way for you to use their credit instead and access up to $150,000 in funding for your startup business. Some other great ways to get money to fund your startup business are based on you having cash flow. Now, I know you might be saying, I'm a brand new business, but once you're in business for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it opens up a lot of funding options if that business is generating consistent revenue. So what you want to do is make sure you're accepting payments from your customers from PayPal, Square, or Stripe. All 3 of them have amazing funding programs where you can get as much as $500,000 in funding, pay a set fee, not any kind of high interest rate. They don't even really care about personal credit or collateral, and all you typically need to get approved is about 3 to 6 months worth of processing history through one of those sources. So great way to get money, easy. You can also get it typically in 24 to 48 hours. You can actually get funding. So if you're already processing money, if you've already been accepting customers' payments for 3 to 6 months, these are great funding options for you. If not, start using PayPal, Square, and Stripe to accept customers' payments. Now, there's some other funding called cash flow financing that's based on all the deposits coming into your bank account, and merchant cash advance that's based on Visa and MasterCard payments being received by you from your customers that you can also tap into as well. And again, only need to be in business about 6 months. You could tap into these and get about 15% of whatever your annual revenue is set to be. Or with PayPal, Square, and Stripe, you can get as much as 30% of whatever you're processing with them. So some really good ways to get money to start your business once you've got processing history for about 3 to 6 months. So we talked about 2 of the 3 C's in in the 3C cash acquisition formula. We've talked about you having cash flow somewhat, even if it's just beginner cash flow the first few months of business. We talked about you having good credit or a guarantor that does. Let's now talk about the third biggest category, which is collateral-based funding. Now, this is where you use some kind of asset that you or somebody else may own as collateral to get funding. So the most common of which to get a new business off the ground, a new business where you might not have any money to be able to tap in and get a lot of money, is using stocks, bonds, 401ks, and IRAs. So you could tap in and get as much as 90% financing against stocks and bonds you or somebody else may own, and actually even still earn interest on those stocks and bonds. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm starting a new business. I don't have any money. I need money. I go to my dad. Now, typically, and again, 75% of business owners get money from family and friends. But instead of going to my dad and saying, I need $50,000 to get this business off the ground, him liquidating his stocks and giving me that cash, I could say, Dad, I need $50,000 to get the business off the ground. He could actually use his stocks as collateral. He still earns interest, still keeps them in place, still does everything he's doing now, but I can use them as leverage to get a 5% interest credit line. Credit doesn't matter. Other collateral doesn't matter. Cash flow doesn't matter. So this is a great option for startup businesses. You can also borrow as much as 100% of the value of 401k or IRA. There's a lot of other assets that can serve as collateral as well. Residential, commercial real estate, vehicles, equipment, inventory, account receivables, purchase orders. So the question is, do you or someone around you have an asset that you could potentially pledge as collateral? If so, that opens up this whole category of financing called collateral-based financing. You don't need good credit. You don't need cash flows. You can get it as a new business. And interest rates are like really low, like 1 to 5%, even as a startup business, even if you have credit issues or other barriers from help that are preventing you from getting funding. So a lot of options here in this collateral bucket for you to be able to get the money you need to borrow against assets to get money, or even to get the assets that you actually need. So if you need to buy inventory, you need to buy equipment, you can use this kind of financing as well to be able to get that so you can actually get your startup off the ground. Now let's talk about free money, money you can get to get a new business off the ground that doesn't even have to be paid back. And this comes in the form of grants. Now there's a lot of different ways you can get grants and a lot of different kind of grants you can get. But the best grants I've ever seen come from local and the federal government. As a matter of fact, almost all grants come from there. So there's two places you definitely want to check out. The first is called Grant Watch. Now, if you go to Grant Watch, you can look at all kinds of local, state, and community grants that are even easier to access than federal grants. And if you want to access all the federal grants that are available from all these agencies, and there's a lot of them, then you want to go to grants.gov. At grants.gov, you can find a lot of options to be able to get money. And again, none of this money has to be paid back. And some of it you can get as much as $30,000, $50,000, even $100,000 in free money. So make sure you check out those sources for free money to grow your business. And the last option I want to talk to you about is business credit. Business credit you can get regardless of cash flow credit or collateral. You can get it as a brand new business, and you can get $10,000, $20,000 limit credit cards very quickly, like within 30 or 60 days from building your business credit. You can get starter vendor accounts. You can get retail credit at almost every major retailer, from Amazon and Walmart to Sam's Club and Costco, Staples, Office Depot, Home Depot, Lowe's, even Nordstrom and Macy's offer this kind of business credit. You can get fleet credit to fuel vehicles, repair and maintain vehicles. You can even get Visa card, MasterCard credit, computer leases. You can even get auto financing, all using business credit, even if you don't have a strength like cash flow credit or collateral. So that's yet one more cool way to access like 6 different kind of financing to get your startup off the ground. We've talked about well more than 10 different ways you can go from starting a business with no money to be able to get more money than you even know what to do to get your startup off the ground. Want access to even more ways? Well, then make sure you grab our guide on 27 ways to get money for your business. You can grab that at creditsuite.com/27 ways. That's creditsuite.com/27, number 27, the word ways. You also can get a free consultation just because you watch this video, and we'll actually qualify you for all the funding you can get now. We work with over 1,000 funding sources and every legitimate funding program. So if you want to know the loans and credit lines you can get right now, give us a call at 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. Or you can schedule online, creditsuite.com/consult. On that same consultation call, we'll do a fundability assessment to help you fix all the fundability issues that are preventing you from getting approved for financing now. Plus, we'll pull your business credit reports for you at no cost and give you tips and tactics to help you build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social. It all happens on that free consultation. Schedule online at creditsuite.com/consult or give us a call at 877-600-2487. If you got value, make sure you like and subscribe to see our future trainings that will help you get the most money at the best terms to grow your business.